The Steam Deck has started to become quite a popular device, but the question I keep seeing is which size should I get? Should I get the 64 gig, the 256, or the 512? Well, today I want to answer that question while making myself a cup of coffee because I believe the answer is simple and I don't want to overcomplicate things. Today, as you can see, the coffee gear has changed. We have a metal brew method. This is the Kalita Wave, a flat bottom paper filter. A little bit different. The flavor characteristics are gonna be a little bit more balanced, and it's a very forgiving cup. The first thing we're gonna do, as always, is rinse our paper filter to get rid of all the nonsense. And that's what I hope that this segment is, a no-nonsense talk about video games, console specific. And yeah, we're gonna jump right in. So the Steam Deck comes in 3 sizes, a 64 gig, a 256, and a 512. Each one comes with their own specific thing or lack thereof. All of them come with a storage case, with the exception of the 512 getting an exclusive storage case, which doesn't matter at all. Personally, I don't think the storage case being exclusive is worth the extra money because it is. It's $650. Whereas the entry level, $399, is pretty nice, and the one that I actually recommend being the middle ground, the 256. But let's just jump into the 3 options here. So with the 64 gig, you get internal storage that you can expand. Now, there are videos on how to expand the SSD specifically, but I'm just assuming that you want the easiest option, which is to take advantage of the micro SD card. And I think that that is probably the best, most user-friendly way to go about it. That's what I personally did. With the 64 gig, you have the, I believe, MME memory style, and you have the NVMe for the 256, and then a faster version of the NVMe for the 512. And for those of you who don't know what all those mean, imagine you're on a highway, and the information is what a car is. You're on a 2-lane highway, and you can get a bunch of cars on that highway, and everything's gonna be fine, but if, let's say, one car is exceptionally slow, well, that car is gonna slow down the rest of the cars behind it. Stuff is still moving, but you have that exceptionally slow garbage truck in that 2-lane highway, and you're just gonna have to wait. And so that exceptionally slow garbage truck would essentially be a very large application. In order for there to be running multiple applications at the same time, you basically are slowing stuff down because it's taking longer for that to get to its destination, which is you, the user. Again, it's kind of a loose translation, but stick with me for a second. So, what is NVMe? Well, it's the same thing. It's still a highway. You're still moving information. You're still moving it up and down and transferring it all over the place, except that highway has more lanes. Not necessarily a higher speed limit, not larger speed limit, but more lanes to get it done. This has to do with memory. Not gonna get into the memory conversation. But the NVMe style hard drive, simply put, has more ways for information to be transferred back and forth for you, the user, to receive that information. Again, speed limit's the same. You're not gonna see a better performance significantly so. You're just gonna see better multitasking and stuff like that. And some performance may be perceived as better, but that's only because the efficiency in which the information is moving back and forth, simply put, is better because there's more ways for it to transfer that information. And then finally, the 512 would be similar without exact specifications, similar to the 256. It's also NVMe style not memory, but storage. But that storage is just more lanes, has more lanes, and it's able to do it even more efficiently. The 64 gig is very, very doable, very usable, especially if you're deciding to increase that storage by using SD cards, micro SD cards, which I think is a very good option. I personally would go for the faster types of micro SD cards because they're gonna do the trick, and I'm listing down below what I think is going to be one of the better options. You can go with multiple brands and what have you, but higher transfer speeds is similar to exactly what I was talking about. Faster communication back and forth. And so with the 64 gig, you would basically just run all of the core things on the internal, and then you'd run games off of the SD cards, which are fast, but not as fast as the NVMe. That moves much quicker. And so for the NVMe, I would highly recommend someone getting that 256 and then expanding it with 512, maybe 1 terabyte. I read in the comments, someone said that they basically got the 256 and they play through a game completely and they keep the rest of the games that they want to play on the SD card, and when they're ready to play those games, they just transfer them off and on so that they have the best experience. And I don't think that's a bad way of going about it. When it comes to the types of storage options you have the 64 that comes with just the case. You have the 256 that comes with faster storage, the NVMe, as well as a case. And lastly, you have the 512, which comes with an exclusive case, exclusive downloadable content, as well as an anti-glare display. And while anti-glare displays are very convenient in outdoor situations, it does make the image look softer. So with an LCD display that is at 720p, I would say that creating a softer image may not be the more desirable option. So it's kind of a weird trade-off. Let me know if this helped you. I hope it did. I was trying to do it nice and quick so you guys wouldn't have to sit through a crazy video with a bunch of B-roll. That's why I like these types of coffee talks. The B-roll is me making coffee. It's like C-roll. It's just information. And it's great because what you get out of it is a quick video, and what I get out of it is a cup of coffee. I think that's a fair trade. All right, guys, have a good one, but most of all, happy gaming. Oh, that's good. It's far too hot.